Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Season 2, Episode 3. So yeah, we're here with another episode of She-Ra, and, it's very clear that I really enjoy this show. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it continues to climb up there. And admittedly, it climbs up especially when other shows are dropping down in quality. Steven Universe and Star Versus, for example. Yeah. But in all seriousness, I'm really enjoying this. So far, Season 2 is kind of just coming out from where Season 1 began. Season 2 ended, or it's continuing plot lines that Season 1 began, I should say. Because Season 1 began some certain things with Entrapta, with the various Princess Alliance members, and things here and there that I feel are definitely getting resolved, or at least continued on in this season. Now, I have obviously no idea where this next episode is going to go. I have no clue at all. I don't know anything about it, but I have been spoiled on one thing for the future. And I don't know the context behind it at all. I saw a picture. Apparently, there's an episode where Catra is wearing the clothes that the character wears in the original 80s series. It's like she's wearing the classic 80s Catra clothes. And it's like, I don't know the context behind it, but I did end up seeing a picture of it on social media. So again, I have no idea how that's going to come into play. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious where this season's going to end up. Because Hordak is kind of a bigger presence now, but he's not really still like the big bad. I mean, he's the overall big bad, but he's not feeling like the big bad at the moment. There's still a lot that I feel is building up with him right now. And I'm not sure if we're going to have the resolution with Catra and all of that in this season. I'm honestly kind of thinking not, but I also don't want them to drag it out too long. If they don't do it by the end of this season, they've got to do it next season, Season 3, which comes out in August. They can't hold back too long. Because at that point, it'll just end up starting to feel repetitive, and I feel like with the way this kind of story works, they need to have consistent progression for all of their characters. And Catra, she went from being kind of looked down upon by the Horde to being a force captain, and now I think the only place, and she kind of even replaced Shadow Weaver, so I think the only place she could go from here is having that either she's going to have some major success with the Horde, or she has to be reformed. And I definitely think that this series is working on reforming her. I definitely think that Season 1 set that up excellently. So I think at this point, they need to get on that. Now, they probably want to set up a few things before they do. Like, I don't know if they're planning on reforming Scorpia as well. I don't know if Entrapta is going to be reformed too quickly. There's a lot of questions. There's the Shadow Weaver's in prison, but who knows if that's going to last, and how she'll get out if she does. There's so many questions to wonder about, and it's like, who knows where it's going to go? As I said, I have no clue about what's to come, but I am excited nonetheless. So we're just going to get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just that good. But let's actually describe what's going on here. So, we have, again, an A plot and a B plot, just like with Dragon Prince and all. The A plot is focusing on Adora, Glimmer, and Bow, and Swiftwing. Or is it Swiftwing or Swiftwind? I think it's Swiftwind. Either way, they're off on a journey to try to find some stuff and all. Try to do what they can, basically, at this location. This supplier, basically. And while there, they find it a lot more creepier than they expected, and we find out that apparently in the Fright Zone, with the Horde, all the ghost stories are about princesses, which makes sense. I still wonder why that's the case. So they find out that these creepy ghost-like figures going around are actually just holograms on loop of first ones. And they realize that this is a beacon and everything, and yeah, they try to get it working and shit. Not a lot of big stuff happens in the A plot here. The B plot is actually much more fascinating in this episode. Not that the A plot's not entertaining. I enjoy the creepy atmosphere. I enjoy the spooky little moments where they jump into each other's arms and stuff. Like, there's the one moment when they're in the house and Swiftwind scares them and Glimmer just jumps up into Adora's arms, and it's adorable as fuck. and then there's one part that I'm actually going to be using for the thumbnail, where they're walking along and they get spooked, and Adora grabs Glimmer like in this protective way, and it's just like, it's the cutest fucking thing. And considering I ship them, yeah. Gotta protect the girlfriend. But it was a fun part, and I definitely think it's building up to something, especially with that bit at the end with that other first one ruin. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know where it's going with at the moment. Excuse me. I don't know where it's going to at the moment, I should say. But yeah, the B plot was vastly more interesting. So Catra's just trying to kind of just try to do her best with Shadow Weaver's old job, and finding that there's more to it than she initially considered. Meanwhile, she's also having trouble keeping track of Entrapta, who's just kind of roaming around on her own, and who ends up going into Hordak's lab against Catra's orders. She finds this thing, she sees Hordak had been working on this energy device, and she basically fixes it for him, and then starts working with him. So it's at this point, I again, don't think this was really brought up before, but it's at this point where we find out for sure that Hordak is from another planet. And apparently portals are real, kind of like this boom tube thing, if you've watched DC comics-based movies or TV shows, or even just read the comics. Kind of this boom tube situation going on. So apparently there's these portals, but on Etheria, they're like just completely unheard of, which is why Hordak is referring to it as a backwoods or backwater planet. It's just kind of like this, it's the boonies of planets, because they're so, like, just small in terms of technical prowess. Even with First One's tech, which is extremely high tech for the planet, I'm sure that's actually still pretty low tech compared to what Hordak is used to. So we kind of get confirmation that Hordak is from another planet, and that he's visited probably many of them. Now the question is, why is he here? Why is he here? Why is he running the Horde? Why is his goal to combat the princesses? What is going on here? What are his true intentions? That's the big question right now. And I don't know if we're going to get answers right away. I think it's going to start building to that. And as I mentioned last time, the thing with Mara, I still think they really need to go more into that. They talked about it in this episode, but only briefly. I think they need to go more into that and actually, like, explain further about what happened with that incident. But yeah, I just, I think that the B plot here was really fascinating and has a lot of promise going for it. I don't know where it'll end up in the end, but as of now, I am definitely very much intrigued as to what we're going to do with maybe multiple planets and stuff, intergalactic shit. Not exactly where I thought this was going to go, but okay, as long as they can pull it off. But yeah, just overall, I'm really obviously enjoying this. There's not really a lot else to talk about with this episode, though. So just tell me in the comments below what you thought. And thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,